Hey everyone, Victory Nub here. I just wanted to preface this week's episode with a couple of things that had affected my ability to complete this particular episode in the way that I probably would have liked. First and foremost, life unfortunately caught up to me this week. I had to work overtime pretty much every single day this week, so I did not have a lot of time in the afternoons to actually get a whole lot of edit work done for the weekly episode that I would normally work on, usually midweek. Second, unfortunately, in the last month, I have been serving as part of a jury duty pool, and I was called in at least one time, so I did have some of that weighing on my personal time and free time to actually do work on the channel. Third, and this is one of those things that, of course, you can't account for because whoever expects this to happen, I was involved in a vehicular accident, and it was earlier in the week. Thankfully, I survived, so did the other guy. My vehicle wasn't totaled. It was actually a pretty minor scrape, but I had to deal with claims information that was required as part of the accident. So all those things combined, I did not have time to do the full work that I usually would do on an episode of Rental Regrets, which in the very beginning was mostly meant to be kind of like a gap week between episodes of Nub's Collection, which were usually the most edit-heavy project that I would do at any given time. And Rental Regrets has slowly but surely become just like Nub's Collection on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis. So they really did become kind of inseparable or hard to tell apart. That said, this week's episode is going to be pretty unadorned. There will be some of the normal stuff that you would see, like the intro part saying that it's obviously Rental Regrets, side assets, an intro and an outro sequence. But other than that, it's just going to be straight up video game and me being an idiot. Not a whole lot of time for any of the other editing stuff that I would normally do this week. But there is some good news. It did not affect my ability to complete the anniversary video that's going to be coming out next week on Friday, which would be the 29th of August, 2025. That video is fully completed, edited, and uploaded to the channel, and it will release on time, so I do not have to worry about that getting done the way that I would have liked. Still haven't revealed the particular game that we're going to be looking at. Don't worry, you will find out in a week, and it will be a long play that we're going to be doing over the course of many weeks. It's not the biggest world in the game, but it's also not the smallest, so I do expect that it may run as long as the rest of this year at a minimum, even with 2 episodes coming out a week on Mondays and Wednesdays. That is currently the plan. So, again, I do apologize. This week's video might be a little bit on the undercooked side, but unfortunately, I just didn't have time to work on it. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get the video started. Rental Regrets. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Rental Regrets. As always, I am your host, Victory Nub, and today we're going to be taking a look at The Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout. Developed by Kemco, published by Kemco Seika, and released in the United States in September of 1990. We're going to do this one guerrilla style. We're just going to kind of get started and start playing the game. I'll talk a little bit about the background of the game while we're doing it. I did an intro explaining my situation this week. I've kind of been rushed for time, and unfortunately I just don't have the time to do the kind of care and attention that I usually have for these videos, so if this one looks a little bit lackluster in terms of presentation, well, unfortunately life caught up to me this week. That's the bad news. The good news is the big anniversary gameplay that I was planning on doing for next week on Friday is already done in the can and ready to go. So my personal stuff is not going to affect that, and I hope everyone's looking forward to it. All right, let's read the text here. It's Bugs Bunny's 50th birthday. He has been invited to a huge party in his honor. Bugs receives a party invitation. It reads, "Happy birthday, Bugs. As members of your fan club, it is our pleasure to request your presence as the honored guest at the spectacular Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout." A lot of beads. However, his fellow Looney Tune pals are very unhappy about this party. Nobody has ever given parties in their honor. Why does Bugs Bunny get so much attention? Wile E. Coyote asks. No, he didn't. He never talks. This is nonsense already. He and the others are so mad that they try to prevent Bugs from reaching his own birthday party. Technically, he has spoken before. And in fact, the one time he did speak was during a crossover cartoon involving him and Bugs Bunny, so that's kind of funny. Bugs must now make his way to the party very cautiously to avoid all those crazy characters. So, we did a Rental Regrets episode like 2 years ago, or whenever it came out, for the Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle. The Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle is the first game that Kemco Seika had released using this license for Looney Tunes. More importantly, it is a completely different game than this one. However, they do borrow very similar assets. I think all the character models that you see in this game that were featured in that game are identical. The mechanics are completely different, however. That game was for lack of a better description, like a platforming puzzle game, where you basically had to trick your fellow Looney Tunes into traps in order to leave the level. This one plays a lot more like Super Mario. Basically, you're just going left or right, trying to pick up as many carrots as you can so you get extra lives, and you just have to reach the goal at the end of the level. I don't even think you have to kill other Looney Tunes characters. If you do, it's a bonus, but you don't have to do it. Not only that, but you actually get a starter weapon in this game, the hammer. Definitely didn't have that in the Crazy Castle. He never had a weapon. I think you had to find stuff in the environment and use it. Also, you could stand on enemies' heads. I don't know what I just picked up. Now, here's the funny thing about this game. The carrot icons that you touch, as soon as you clear them, they become actual platforms that you can touch, like, and interact with. I think when we were talking about the Crazy Castle, when we did that video, I had mentioned at the time that I remember liking that game a lot, but I may have in fact been thinking about this game. And this game I did enjoy quite a bit. It's not the most difficult or complex platforming game of all time, but it had a certain satisfying rhythm to it. It wasn't too difficult, it wasn't too easy. It felt nice and breezy. I need you to come here so I can jump off your head. There you go, buddy. Whee! No real reason to actually damage these enemies. I have no idea. Oh, can't do that. Nope! See ya. Oh, I like those platforms that break. So I think you have to hit it with the hammer to go flying. You do! But I also have the Super Bugs item, which is why the music is different from what it sounded like before. He jumps higher. That's the gimmick. And because this is a ripoff of Super Mario, you go down tubes. Now, as I recall, you cannot hurt Daffy in any way. You have to just get out of the level. There you go. Level over. And I remember this game having a ton of levels. Like 60 or something like that. Stage 1, round 1 completed. Go to the bonus round. Push button. Alright, so I guess they do seeds? Interesting. I don't remember this at all. It's probably bingo, and if you don't get a straight line, you're not going to get anything. Hey, I got 3 in... Okay, so it's not that bad. It's like 3 in a row give you an extra life. So I have 2 extra lives I'll get because 7, 5, and 9 are in a line, right? No? Weird. Huh. I don't know if I like that. It seems like they don't give you enough rolls in order to get it. Alright, so the carrots are being spent to roll this. And you do... it looked like it was 10 each time. So there's a reason to actually pick these up. What the heck? Get out of here. Ah, Wile E. Coyote's favorite trap, the spinning death gun. Just... well, it does look like it's teardrops now. Maybe it's just a sprinkler. A deadly sprinkler. Whee! The Is that a good thing? Yeah, I guess. Whoa! Wait, I want to go down! The lima beans! Or sixlets. Those are sixlets. Oh, look at the size of this level. Alright, that tube has a giant gingerbread cookie coming out of it, shortbread cookie, and I can go in it. Yikes! Oh. I kind of like that the health bar, or your hit points, I guess, have multiple tiers, so you can get hit quite a few times before they disappear. And I'm guessing you can get that heart back once it burns completely out, but who knows. Yeah, this is a surprisingly forgiving game, considering how much damage I could and should have taken at this point. Come on. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to get that one, am I? Well, maybe I can. Yeah, do it this way. Yep. Eee! Whoa! Whoa! There we go, got my health back. Yeah, it's funny, when you think of rabbits, you think of them being, very hoppy. I don't know if that's something that you ever see Bugs Bunny do. He just kind of walks around like a normal person. Very strange. Aha, I can hide here too. Oh, I took damage. I get it, what am I supposed to do? I look like Elmer Fudd. Oh, it's Tweety! Oh, bastard. Gotcha! I didn't go for the swag jump to grab it out of midair. 3 bites at the apple. Here we go. Just gonna mash it quickly. Bit like when you would do the slot machine in Super Mario 2. I don't know if there was a way to actually control how the dials rolled, so you just jammed on the button as fast as you could. Hey, I got an extra life. Cool. Not that I've needed them at this point. So if I get 4 in a row, does that give me 2 extra lives, or does it go, like, even higher, 3 extra lives? Smashy, smashy. Use that as a platform. Aha. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, okay. Don't die. Oh, it interacted with the environment. Come on. So while you're stunned, you can't actually swing your hammer. Whoa! Well, there's gotta be something good in here, right? Under the sixlets? Oh, come on! It clipped my ears. I don't know if any of these warps are good or bad. This is one of those things where you're probably expected to know the level after playing it extensively. This is really bad. I don't think you can't duck in this game. There's no pressing down to dodge a hit. Whoop! You can certainly move faster than the sixlets if you try. Yeah, you lose some of the fun, gimmicky items that they had in Crazy Castle here, but the hammer is versatile enough. Oop. Get that health. Aww. I'm glad the game doesn't force you to keep moving right at all times. Like, if you go too far over to the right side of the screen, it doesn't preclude you from going back to the left or prevent you from going to the left. Yeah, so you can do that all you want. Can't get out that way. Aw, you can't do an up thrust with a hammer? Uh-oh. Ah, damn. Can I go through these? Yes, I can. And that's probably end of level. Oh, crap. How do I get up? Huh. Can I do a... Oh, wait a minute. No? I guess I need an item to get up there. Oh! Oh, come on. Seriously? Oh, well. Alright, there are bottomless pits in this game. I didn't lose my carrots. That's a nice touch. That way, if you manage to get to the end of the game, or the end of the game, end of the level after losing like an extra life or two, they give you even more chances to earn back what you lost. They accumulate. What do we got here? Take me to the top. Is there anything up here I can get? Oop! No, there is not. Whoa! Alright, I'm guessing that kills you too. Kind of a devious move there to have the ground just kind of end. And if you did try to walk down hoping to scroll the screen, it would kill you. Let's go back the other way. If they won't stop you from doing it, why not? Whoop, whoop. All right. Oh, look at this. Ah! There's the item I needed. Now, can I make use of it? Of course not. How far away on the platform before I swing can it activate? There we go. Alright, so it didn't get me too far ahead. But I am dangerously low on health. I gotta be more careful. Is the heart still here? I know there was a heart this way somewhere. See ya. Make strategic use of those bushes if I need to, but nope, we're good. Ah, but we're gonna run into the same problem we had before. I have no way of getting up to those upper blocks anymore. I needed that one item that is now gone. I don't think any of these power-ups come back if you scroll off screen far enough. I think you're just kind of SOL if you don't get them the first time. Alright, well, let's see if something changed. It just... Oh, there we go. You don't even have to worry about hopping on those. You just jump to it. They might have made these encounters with Daffy a little too easy, but it is early, so who knows? Maybe around levels 40 or 50 it gets insane. I get 7 bites at the apple here. Got one. I'm glad that the star counts as one in the line. As a longtime fan of Shadowgate, I can definitely get the barest sense of the same sound system that they used. Something about the melody they use when you get an extra life here. It just sounds like the music they used in Shadowgate. Really do love that game. It's not a great game. I still love it. It's a little bit on the short side, and once you figure out the puzzles, there's really no mystery left of the game. You can just run the whole damn thing in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I made it look so easy because I knew it all. Alright, go back this way. I gotta hop on the gingerbread cookie. Oh, I got a super hammer? What will I do if I hit with... Oh! Alright, well, that didn't really change much. Can you charge it up? Is that... Alright, how do I get that? Can I break the... No. I have no idea how you would get to those. Probably don't. It's probably something you have to come back the other way. What a weird choice to have these, I'm guessing they're supposed to be boulders popping out of the warp pipe. Oh, God. Oh! All right. They're making the platforming a little more tense. A little more. Jump. Jump. Aw, damn it, I lost my super hammer. How do you take advantage of the... I guess you don't. Well, that answers that question. I thought I was going to have to use those to continue the platforming. I did not. Oh, did I kill someone doing that? That's actually pretty smart. If you hit an enemy with the mallet and they go flying, they actually count that the contact as a hit. Oh, get out of here. Sure. There's my health back. Whee! I'm sure we talked about it in the past at some point. My favorite Looney Tunes cartoon of all time. Easy, #1 with a bullet, Duck-a-Muck. It was the best written of all the cartoons they ever did because it was such a wildly different concept. If you don't know what Duck-a-Muck is, and I mean, I know it just by saying the name. That should tell you something, because who remembers the names of the cartoons? You just remember what happened in them. Duck-a-Muck was the short they did where Daffy Duck starts out in, I want to say it's like a medieval setting, or it might even be a Three Musketeers setting. And as he starts performing lines as, I guess, one of the Three Musketeers, he starts moving forward in the environment and realizes that the environment isn't finished. Like, there's missing assets. It just kind of ends. So then he turns to the camera and starts talking to the artist who's supposed to be drawing it and complains that it's not done. And then he asks if he can do a different type of cartoon where he is a completely different kind of character. Oh, look at this, a different kind of puzzle. Gotcha. Okay, so you have to hit 10. Get a... I only got 1. Whatever. Got an extra life. Oh. That guy's the hardest to do. Oh, they do seem to be dodging me. Damn. Anyway, the Duck-a-Muck episode, not only does the environment in the first part of the cartoon not get finished, but then the artist starts really screwing with Daffy. Like, the artist puts him in, like, oh, God, what the hell? Putting him in scenarios that he didn't ask for, putting him in outfits he didn't ask for, cutting the audio when he's trying to yell, just doing anything and everything possible to make him absolutely miserable. And then once you get to the end of the episode, after Daffy has absolutely blown a gasket in a way that you probably never saw him do before in any other cartoon, it's revealed that Bugs Bunny was the artist. Now, of course, the great follow-up, and I can't remember what the name of that one is. It's not Duck-a-Muck, obviously, but they did a sequel cartoon that followed up on the exact same premise, except instead of Daffy Duck, all the bad things are happening to Bugs Bunny. And he's, getting frustrated because everything is, kind of coming apart at the seams. He can't seem to get any of what he wants done. And in the end of that one, instead of Daffy Duck being the perpetrator of all the horrible things, it turns out it's Elmer Fudd doing all the evil, manipulative, bad drawing. Yeah, that was always my top #1 favorite cartoon was Duck-a-Muck. Now, as far as, like, actual characters or scenarios, the long-standing favorite that I had was always the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote cartoons. And it was such a wonderfully perfect concept where it's just two characters, one trying to kill the other, and the other one not having any concept whatsoever of it actually happening, or silently being so perfect at evading capture that it defies explanation. And again, one of the things that was always wild about those cartoons is not a single word spoken. Looney Tunes was famous for having characters that were always very verbose and spoke to each other while they were doing whatever horrible things to each other that happened. Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. Neither one of them ever spoke, with the exception of Wile E. Coyote in the one cartoon where he interacted with Bugs Bunny. Roadrunner, all he ever did was go meep meep. That was it. And it didn't matter. The strength of the concept is what drove it. You didn't need... Oh, die. Okay, thought I was about to die. You didn't need a lot of heavy dialogue. All you needed was, hey, Wile E. Coyote has this new gimmick from Acme that is going to surely help him capture the Roadrunner, and then, of course, it always fails hilariously. Alright, I feel like they're building a bridge to something. We have to try. Something up here? I did it. Alright, game over. I made it all the way to the top of whatever that thing is. Hey, wait. Is there something? I hit something over here. Right here. Whatever. Nope. I don't think that was making me faster. It was definitely making me jump higher. Let's grab... Oop. Get out of here. Oh, come on. I wonder why it's... sometimes the enemy does get, like, pushed across the screen when you hit them, and sometimes they don't. I don't know what's going on here, and it's got me worried. Are the platforms sinking? Oh, that's a wild idea. Still don't get why a sprinkler is my enemy. They made the hammer quite versatile, though. I did see it blocking shots just now. And this is why the Sphinx got destroyed. I don't have to destroy the whole thing. See ya. No! Tumbleweed! Oh, you definitely had to mash the button to get out of that one. Okay. Nothing there. To the top! Got it. Uh-oh. Damn it. Exit? Exit. Who are we fighting this time? Is this another Tweety encounter? It sure is. Why is Tweety after me? I thought we were friends! Why are you throwing food at me? What a dickbag Tweety is. This is like pro wrestling. There's like permanent good guys and bad guys, and Tweety and Bugs are permanent good guys. Whoa. Whoop. We're gonna skip that this time. Can I jump on the clouds? I sure can't. Whoa! See ya. Maybe they're not sinking. I don't know why the ground shakes here. Maybe it's just to mess with you. I know we talked about it during the video for Crazy Castle. That game had a weird history because it was designed in Japan originally. And that particular game, because of the complex copyright law in Japan, was actually designed with two completely different sets of characters, or three separate sets of characters, aside from Looney Tunes characters. So, and I think it was because they didn't have the rights to it originally. I think they wanted to make it as a Disney set of cartoon characters. So, like Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Donald, and whatnot. And for whatever reason, they couldn't port it to the US that way, so they ended up making it Bugs Bunny. And also, at one point, I think they even did it as Roger Rabbit. That would have been right around the time the... Swaggy? Oh, I didn't get it. That would have been right around the time the movie came out, because I know it was in the late 80s. I keep saying all these characters and things that make me go, man, we should play that game. And then I remember, oh, we've played that game on the channel. I was just thinking, man, I remember Who Framed Roger Rabbit. We should play that game. We have. I don't recall making very much progress. It's not the easiest game in the world to figure out without cheating. Yeah, I've got 12 extra lives. I'm definitely not, like, struggling to get through these levels. It's early. I think that's actually a good sign for a platforming game if the developer doesn't make it so that you're constantly losing lives in the first area or two. Give the players some time to get acclimated. Let them get their money's worth before you strip everything fun away at the end of the game. Oh. And I'm sure, you know, Kemco, and Sega, I guess, were well aware of the idea that this might have been a game that didn't do so well for home purchase, but maybe it would have had a lot of success if it was released, say, as a rental, or picked up as a rental. And those are the kind of games that they probably tried to market as extremely difficult, or design as to be extremely difficult. And that way they could, you know, get you to keep picking it up and keep picking it up and keep picking it up, because they want that money from, you know, rentals. Yeah, I love that I can escape the top bounds of the area, but it doesn't give me anything. Come on, if you're gonna ape Mario, you gotta ape the better parts. Hey! Alright, we're doing alright. We're doing alright. Ooh. I don't know what this is gonna get me, but... Jump? Oh, no, it didn't jump. Ah, well, there goes that. I shouldn't touch that. I don't want to die. Woo! Look at that. We made it. All right. Yo! Anything up here? How about an exit? A secret exit? Nothing. More Daffy? No. No Daffy. I don't know if I have to actually break all these or not. And it certainly hasn't appeared to be something where you get any kind of items out of these blocks, which I think is a miss on their part, but it's not like the game is packed with power-ups that you want to pick up everywhere you go. Away! Why does picking up a giant carrot make him produce some kind of, like, hot air balloon? Scored a ton of carrots on that level. Just once. Give me a 4 in a row or a 5 in a row. Come on, game. I have no control over what these rolls are. Give me something nice to show that you're actually giving me good odds every now and then. They can't even do that. In that situation, I would prefer games of at least a little bit of skill, like the Whack-A-Mole, where I just had to pay attention to what was happening in the environment when I was sitting over something. Sitting over one of the moles to hit. I did not need that. Oh! I thought I shorted that jump. Okay! Oh, come on! They're breaking! I don't know if I can make this jump. Oh yeah, I can. Do this. Yep. Like so. Oh. Ah! You just gotta jump. Just straight up jump. Land on it and jump! We got it. We got it. I can't get up there. Oh! Oh god, stop touching those things. They hurt. Oh! Okay, I was about to try to go in that doorway. Why are the sphinxes dancing? Like, they're all, like, twitching their abdomens. Or their chest muscles. Like, the sphinx is trying to show off for me. Like, look how strong my pec muscles are. Go, 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 get it! Oh, this is one of those... No, I can get it. Right. Yeah. Whoop. Another level, we're gonna have a bunch of chances to get some extra lives. I want to see if they have a different mini-game type. That do. Than just whack-a-mole or the... Okay. Ooh. Whack-a-mole are the random choices. Well, you can tell the hands at Nintendo definitely got on this game before they released it because they took away his 6-shooters. Oh, no, they didn't. I was like, why is he just punching air? Where are his guns? There they are. Come on, let me hit him with my hammer. Aw, damn it. Definitely can't jump on him. Gotcha. Oh, it's gonna be close. Got him. Woo! Swag jump. 4 per stage, right? So we get to go to a new one? In theory? There we go, we're back. Quit going so fast. I got 1 extra life, right? God, some of them are way too fast. Okay, so it looks like it's... You get an extra life every time you pick up 10. But you have to hit whatever their minimum number is in order to get the next chance to do it. But also, you also need carrots. Also. I think I just killed... What was the Michigan J-Frog? The frog that was deemed racist because it's kind of a send-up on black minstrel singers, and it's like, ew, this isn't... something that they want to use as like a trademark character for, was it WB? When CW was still called WB Network. That was one of their big gimmicks, was they used Michigan J Frog to advertise the channel. When people pointed out that, you know, that character probably should go away along with like the Rare Rabbit. Because there's some elements of it that have not historically aged well and are extremely racist. Okay. Whoa! I got fireballs shooting out of the ground now. I do like that from the looks of it, the game is starting to get far more generous with the number of carrots you can pick up in each level. See if I can do this. Get! There we go. is. Nice. Oh, look at this. Ground went away again. But it always stops real short. Like, they don't really go crazy on that gimmick. They just kind of, like, tell you, hey, get moving. Nice. Get out of here. What the hell is that one gonna do? Is it gonna lead me up? It hadn't really occurred to me yet, but those clocks are basically just a rip-off of... Oh, that was too easy. Of a bomb. Except it's a clock. Come on, give me a 4 in a row. 4 in a row! That was a 3 in a row. Come on. Just jam on him. 4 in a row! Nope. Gonna do a 4 in a row before the end of this video, I swear. Here we go, here we go. And 4 in a row! Nope. One more try, one more try. 4 in a row! Hey! 5 up! Wow. Very good. Makes me wonder what the 5 in a row would give you. Like 10 up? The game just ends. It gives you a victory screen and credits roll. Game's like, well, I can't beat you now. What the hell is that supposed to be? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, I can kill it. Oh, cool. So it's like the PAL blocks. And it actually works on the enemy. I should have found a way to work this part more into the game, using the bubbles to traverse the environment. Or better yet, explain why the hell am I attacking boxes of what I'm sure is supposed to be like detergent of some kind. I don't get it. I seriously, I don't get it. I guess in Japan, certain brands of detergent are the real enemy. Bang! Whoa! I love that conceptually, but I don't know if there's enough opportunities to actually make positive use of that thing. Get out of here. Whoa! Well, I'm getting flashbacks to Godzilla, which was, or the NES one at least, was the very first game that we ever looked at for Rental Regrets. It's circular. It circles back in on itself, guys. This episode's going to be far more stripped back than we usually do, just like the first episode of Rental Regrets was. Man, I love that game. That was such a good game. I was very much intentional choosing that as the first video that we ever did for Rental Regrets, the Godzilla episode, because it was like, I have so much appreciation for this game. It was such a unique idea. You had side-scrolling levels where you just kind of broke up lots of little enemy ships and tiny monsters that were probably threatening if you... uh-oh, I'll get back up. I don't think I can. Jump from here? Ah, damn. It was just a very fun concept because 90% of the time, Godzilla, if you're talking about the original, you know, video or movie for Godzilla, was a monster that was just intent on punishing humanity for the sin of atomic weapons. But then as time went by and they realized that they had a really popular idea that they wanted to capitalize on, he became friendly towards Earth, as long as he was under, you know, special electronic control of some kind. And they started pitting him against all kinds of things, you know, UFOs, other giant monsters, enemy monsters from other countries, like the US. There's Elmer Fudd. Oh no. So it doesn't hurt you, but he definitely locks you up. Oh, come on! Swing the hammer! Quit letting him touch you! There you go. Gotcha. And... Saw! Fell too slow. I was gonna get it on the first jump at the height. I don't have the timing on it. Let's finish all of stage 3, and then we'll go ahead and call it a day on this one. And let's get that 5 in a row before the end of the video, yeah? Come on. 5 in a row, 5 in a row, 5 in a row. Here we go. There were 3 on top. All right, here we go. Ready? 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 5 in a row, 5 in a row, 5 in a row. Go! Nope. I don't think jamming on the button as fast as possible is making it happen anymore. But it's also getting it done faster. Hey, the other... Oh, damn. Should have been paying more attention. The other thing I really loved about that NES Godzilla was the fact that, in its own crude way, it actually had a leveling system. As dumb as that sounds. Basically, anytime you actually manage to kill another monster with one of your 2 characters, either Godzilla or Mothra, the game rewarded you with bonus health. So you wanted to kill them, you didn't just want to get to the exit teleporter and use that to get out of the area. Because otherwise, why would you bother fighting them? Well, you're just putting your characters at risk of dying, and then you have to finish the game with just the 1 character. But if you actually, you know, made the effort to fight the monsters and defeat them, you actually got rewarded with a larger health pool. I don't know if it ever increased your damage. I think it was just you had more health to go into each fight with. Which absolutely pays dividends because, of course, the way that game was designed was you had, you know, a pool of ever-increasing enemy monsters. Good God, this is going to be impossible. I have no idea how to do this one. Not safely. Well, okay, that wasn't safe. Get on top. There we go. We made decent progress on that first episode, right? I think or that first episode, that only episode that we did for Godzilla. Full name is Monster of Monsters. We made it through, what, the first 2 areas? Which involves you... Uh-oh. Oh, I'm dangerously close to dying. Don't touch anymore! No frog. Bad touch. Oh, God! Why did I jump there? Alright, we made it. We made it! Safely. Woo! I gotta dodge Daffy again? Yep. Oh, this one's easy. Get out of here. You gotta make them harder, game. These have been getting easier as time has gone by. It's funny, when I started Rental Regrets, one of the things that I wanted to do with that particular series was, because I put so much editing and just adding bits and storytelling and all the other stuff into the Nubs Collection episodes, Rental Regrets was always intended to be the sister series where we looked at games that I had less familiarity with, and I would just kind of do what Nubs Collection had started out as. Play the game, talk about it a little, offer final thoughts, move on to the next one. And Nubs Collection became so much more involved than that. And this was supposed to be the series that kind of returned to those simpler roots and allowed me to take a break between episodes of Nubs Collection to maybe put a little more time and effort into each episode. And then as time went by, Rental Regrets just kind of became a differently named version of the Nubs Collection series. Oh, God! I was trying to launch backwards on that seesaw. Did not work as planned. Whee! Whoa! Yeah, they are. They're all just bombs, basically. Alright, screw it. We're not gonna bother with this! Don't need it. I'm sure why they put it there. Ow! At least they don't have those U-shaped fireball enemies from Monsters in this, because if they did, man, I'd throw the damn controller and quit. They were the absolute dickiest enemy of all dick enemies in video games. Because they would just kind of jam themselves into Godzilla's stomach and destroy his health pool in just a couple of seconds. They weren't as effective against Mothra because Mothra, her hitbox was very much a horizontal hitbox. So, in order for the enemy that I'm talking about, this weird U-shaped fireball, to do the most amount of damage, it needed to get, like, dead center of a vertical hitbox and take advantage of the inability of your character to get out of the way of the fireball. It's so much easier with Mothra than it is with Godzilla, so... Oh, I just died again. Damn it. I am playing sloppy. Talking too much Godzilla. In a Bugs Bunny episode. Has Bugs Bunny ever met Godzilla? I'm sure someone out there knows. Okay, you can do it. Alright, you just gotta be patient. I wasn't being patient. I feel like that's the kind of crossover thing that they would have done for, like, as already played out as the idea would have been, Space Jam. Have Godzilla show up and play basketball, but wow, now I'm starting to think there was something that was like a crossover with Godzilla playing basketball. Charles Barkley? Did Charles Barkley do an ad campaign where he played Godzilla in basketball? Why is that the exact thing that's popping in my head right now is Charles Barkley, Godzilla, basketball. Besides the fact that Charles Barkley obviously played basketball. Alright, we gotta find out what's down here. Let me hit! Damn you, frogs! Get out of my life! I see something down here. Ah, it's just carrots. Lame. Something for something better! Can I break this? I sure can't. It looks like it should be breakable. Aw, you little bastard. Oh, look at this. They're trying to box me in. Being chased by frogs everywhere I go. Alright. This has got to be the end of it, right? Oh, this part again. Okay, don't do that. Go. Made it. Ow! Now, wait a minute. This isn't an exit. I can't get through this! Can I use him? Not like that. Not like that. Alright. Can I... Oh, not like that! Oh, God! No, doesn't work. Well, I had to try. Well, that's not the exit. What is? I guess I gotta go down. Eh! That did not work as intended. Get out of here, bastard. Oh, God, right in the pit! Let me finish stage 3. So close. They are taking some of my carrots away every time I die. Because I definitely have more than 25. I'm not even worried about picking them up anymore. I just want to get the level done. Wait! I like that it started as the safety of Bugs Bunny's, like, rabbit hole. And now he's jumping into just anything that happens to have an opening on top, like trash cans. Pretty sure that's how Oscar the Grouch got his start. He was jumping into anything with a hole, and then he jumped in a trash can. Alright, so it's got to be down here. I like this. They're using the design of the level to not just do the same damn thing every time, going left or right. Now I'm going left. It turns out there's more than one direction that a person can travel. Alright, so I have to do it from down here. And go. Go! Alright, we got it. We got it. This is easy. It's a kid's game. And this is where I die. Damn it! I shouldn't even try hitting them, because every time I do, I take damage. This has got to be it. This has got to be it. There we go. Boss fight against Sylvester, who's got a skateboard, famously. What? Oh! Oh! Okay, I hit him. That's what matters. Whoa, God, it's a bigger Sylvester! He's also doing sick tricks. It's getting faster. Well, this is how they ratchet up the difficulty, is they just keep making him go faster and faster. Get it on the jump! There we go. Finished it strong. All right, there we go. I think that's a good enough look at the game. All right, we'll do final thoughts. It's not the best platformer of all time, but it's certainly a competent and mildly amusing platforming game. I think they kind of didn't do a great job with the power-ups. They only gave you like 2 of them that I remember picking up. They gave you a hammer at one point that did nothing to change the hammer's appearance or hitbox or anything tangible that I could tell, because most enemies were dying in one hit anyway. So what difference does it make if you pick up a hammer power-up if it doesn't change anything about how it functions? The power-up that gave you extra jump height also doesn't seem like it's really all that necessary, because in most areas you're able to reach all the platforms that you would want to reach just using your standard jump height. So I think both of those power-ups were very underserved in this game. Bugs Bunny's hammer in this game has a terrible range. You have to get right in the enemy's face to hit them, and 90% of the time you try to do that, they're going to hit you back. So more often than not, you're better off just jumping over them or on top of them. I can obviously see the Super Mario 2 influence in the idea that you can jump on top of enemies and they don't automatically take damage. You can ride them, basically, and that is exactly what happened in Super Mario Bros. 2. No enemy died from taking jump damage by you jumping on their head. You could pick them up in most cases, or you could throw them. This game doesn't give you the option to throw, but you can hit enemies on the head with the hammer when you jump on top of them. So that is a nice touch, is that the hit box underneath you seems to be fairly generous, because I was definitely able to hit enemies when I was standing dead center on top of them. The Daffy Duck inclusion in this game as a repeating character that you see as the final, Looney Tunes character you got to see for half of the levels that you end, was pretty lousy the way they handled it, because it seems like every single one of those was just don't fall. And even then, you were probably not going to take much damage. Daffy might have taken like one of the hit points out of your heart pool, and that was it. Not the full heart, just one of the thirds of each heart that you get, 4th. Yeah, you get 4 hits, because it goes from red to white to black to empty for each of the hearts. So I would imagine they probably only took one of those 4 points out of your heart if you got hit by Daffy. Most of the boss fights also seemed like they were pretty half-baked. Usually it was just, hey, they're going to bump into you. Or if they had a gun, they're going to walk back and forth and shoot the gun, try to jump over the bullets and hit him or her or whatever you were hitting. I do think that the platforming was decent, and you had plenty of control over Bugs Bunny, and that's something that we talk about a lot when we see platforming games, where having control over your jump momentum makes a world of difference in playability for these kinds of games. Castlevania is an absolutely atrocious platformer, because in the pure action, side-scrolling Castlevania games, they take away any and all control over your jump once you've left the ground. where basically you're going to jump in the arc that you started no matter what, even if you bump into an enemy. And usually, depending on the enemy, you would actually get bumped backwards if you made contact. Here, this plays a lot more like Mario, where you have very good control, maybe not perfect control, because there was a little bit of momentum that you had to slow down through in order to change direction, but not so much that if you made a bad jump, you couldn't turn around and go back to the platform you jumped off of. The original Super Mario was less lenient in that regard, where if you jumped off a platform, sometimes your horizontal movement would be restrained from going back the direction you came from. Like you could slow down and fall straight down in some cases, but you couldn't completely go back the other way. I think once they got to Super Mario 2 and 3, they realized that wasn't much fun, and they actually opened it up more where you could turn around and go back the way you came once you launched in a jump. Here, they did a great job with that. The frame rate sucked. There's no nice way to put it. 2D side-scrolling platforming games on the NES were, as basic could be. Having a stable, consistent frame rate in a video game, as simplistic as this one was, should not have been difficult, but for some reason, it felt very framey. And I know that was consistent with how the game played originally. I do play most of these games now on a Polymega, so that we have the HD output that I get with the HDMI. That said, that wasn't what was causing it. The game was legitimately very low frame rate when it was released. And I think it does affect my ability to respond and hit an enemy before they make contact, because in some cases it was hard to tell. If I swing the weapon now, is it going to hit them before they touch me? And unfortunately, it did cost me quite a few times. The bonus rounds, I'm glad they put them in the game. I wish there was a little more agency in how you interacted with the random bingo point mini game, where they just let you pick 5 boxes, and if they happen to be 3 or more in a row, you get an extra life. Yes, it's probably more generous than, say, Super Mario Brothers 2 was, where you had a slot machine, and depending on whatever your 3 rolls were, you could get 1 extra life or 3, and maybe it was 3. I don't know if you could get more than 3. You might have been able to get 5, but I may also be thinking of Super Mario 3. Here, you had the opportunity to get more lives, but it was extremely rare because you had to get 4 in a row. And when it's picking from a 5x5 box, only 5 boxes, you're extremely unlikely to get 4 in a row when it's already kind of hard to get 3. The whack-a-mole game was a nice change of pace. I do think they kind of cheesed the player, though. The faster the further into the mini game you got, the faster those things would pop up and out of the ground and then go back down immediately. Where it doesn't matter how fast my reflexes would have been, I wasn't going to hit them. They did that quite a bit as you got into later rounds, and I think we only managed to see 2 rounds ever when we got to that mini game. I would have liked another mini game that we could try. Having 3 mini games would have been fine. Make the first 2 levels in a stage, or the first 2 rounds in a stage, the bingo card. Make the second one or the third one that you see a completely different mini game, whatever it is. And then the fourth one be the whack-a-mole, where it's increasing in difficulty the longer you go. That would have been nice. That the fact that they give you a chance to get extra lives after every single area is nice. They don't carry over your carrots between levels, which I thought they did, but I guess not. Would have been nice if that was something where if you managed to pick up 100 carrots without spending any. There's an idea. Let the player collect carrots. If they get 100, they get an extra life. And they choose from how many they've collected to play a bonus game or just keep going. And that would have given you even more agency over the amount of lives that the character has and which of the mini games you choose to play. That would have been a nice touch. They didn't put it in here. My regret for this game, I know I liked Crazy Castle for what it was, and I seem to recall liking this game maybe a little bit more than Crazy Castle, because Crazy Castle did feel like it was very limited. It was the same thing in every single area that you went to. Here, I do see what looks like maybe the remnants of a completely different game that Kemco decided to slap a Looney Tunes brand on top of. And in the case of Crazy Castle, that's exactly what happened. They made a completely unrelated game for Disney characters and then couldn't get the licensing rights in the US. So they said, fine, we'll talk to WB. WB will let us do it. Bingo, bango, they got their game. And again, I also think they did a Roger Rabbit variety or version of the characters as well. That one didn't fly because whoever owned the rights to it didn't want to. And it was very nebulous because Roger Rabbit was between different cartoon studios. It was like an independent movie studio that was making it. Well, it wasn't independent, but it was like one studio that may have had access to certain characters and then had to sweet talk the other studio. And I want to say it was Warner, and they had to sweet talk Disney into allowing them to use their characters, as well as like 2 or 3 other formerly major cartoon studios to allow them to use characters like Popeye and Betty Boop and so on. And that's why that game is very limited in what you see and what you experience, because unfortunately they were trying to juggle properties that they didn't have the rights to in Japan. So once it was going to be ported to the US, they had to find one that was willing to let them do it, and Warner Brothers complied. This game, you can definitely see where the enemies have absolutely no relation, not the major characters, but like the soapboxes and the walking hammerhead characters and the random fireballs have no relation to anything from Looney Tunes rather. And that's because it was probably a completely different platformer that Kemco decided at the last minute, hey, we'll reuse our Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle assets in this game, and we'll be able to ship it as a completely new experience, and people who like Looney Tunes will absolutely buy it. And they're probably right. It probably sold better than it would have if it had not been a Bugs Bunny video game. If it had just been generic enemy or generic platformer with a character that no one in the US recognizes, I don't think it would have sold at all. This one, I have a feeling it sold fine enough because while the birthday Blowout, the spin-off franchise, did not continue, there was a Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle 2 and a Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle 3, which both came out on the Game Boy. I've never played them before. We'll see if we can find a cheap copy to look at one of them. I don't think we're going to look at both if we do look at either of them at all. But we'll pick it up to see if they made a wildly different version of that kind of puzzle platforming game that they did with the original game. This one, I would say I enjoyed playing it for what it was. I don't think I would have ever gone back to it after renting it the 1 or 2 times that we looked at it. So I would say the regret is probably renting it at all, because I think it's a serviceable platforming game, but not a great one by any means. There were too many bad decisions that they made in terms of the power-ups and the way the enemies fight you. If you're talking about the other Looney Tunes characters, where there's just not much dynamically going on with them. And that hammer just has an absolutely atrocious hit range. They needed to give you more range. That thing needed to go out like at least the width of Bugs Bunny's body, the sprites, in order to give you a fair enough range to hit enemies. I mean, it's like base level Castlevania 1 whip in half is what I had for attack range, which just feels way too short. So yeah, I think this is one of those ones that I would have regretted putting the money down to rent after playing it the one time. I remember enjoying it, but looking at it today, it's like, this isn't a great platforming game. It's so-so at best. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Rental Regrets. I know we did 2 back-to-back Rental Regrets weeks. The reason for that is because next week is the big anniversary Blowout episode for a game that I had not announced yet. And I'm still not going to announce it yet, because I want to leave that surprise until it releases next week. All you need to know is it's a really good game. Many people consider it the greatest game of all time. And we're going to do a full playthrough of it. Next week is going to be a huge 6.5-hour episode, a mega episode to cover a huge swath of the beginning of that game. And then going forward from there, we're going to take a week off after next week to let everyone, view all 6.5 hours of that video. We're going to take the week off after that. No videos will come out because I'm getting ready to wrap up the ongoing game that we're looking at for Nubs RPG Wednesday next week. That'll be the end of that series. We're going to take a week off after the 6.5-hour episode launches, and then the rest of the series will roll out as 1-hour episodes on Mondays and Wednesdays, kind of like we did with Chrono Trigger. And then Fridays will be the standard rotation of Nubs Collection, Rental Regrets, Nubs Collection, Rental Regrets, and so on. So next week, 2 very big episodes of Nubs Collection and Nubs RPG Wednesday. No Monday video until we actually get the next big long play that we start with the anniversary video going, and then it'll be a Monday and a Wednesday release, an hour each for those videos until we finish the game. And then Nubs Long Play and Nubs RPG Wednesday will return to what they usually are going forward after that. So I'm very excited. I'm happy that we're looking at this game. It will only be the second time I've ever played through the game to completion, because I only ever played through it completely one time. I like the game. I'm going to have certainly complaints when we get to the end of it, but there's a reason why so many people love that game, and we'll see as we play through it. So again, I don't want to say what it is. We'll see in about a week. That's going to do it for this episode of Rental Regrets. As always, I do appreciate each of you watching, and I will see you next time.